Alright, let's talk about Lucky Luke, the Ballad of the Daltons. So, yeah, this is directed by René Goscinny, Henry Gruel, somewhat, a man simply named Morris, who, yeah, apparently he helped create the Lucky Luke comic alongside Goscinny, or whatever you call him. Um, yeah, Pierre Watrine Mart, and I guess the English version was directed by Martin Rosen. Anyway, oh, and oh, he did Watership Down. That's interesting. And Plague Dogs, which I'll get to later. Well, anyway, so yeah, this is another. So this is like that Asterix movie I covered not too long ago. These I know at the very least Goscinny was involved with that one as well, and that was definitely the best Asterix movie I'd covered so far. It had great comedy. Um, you know, it had some pretty high stakes considering the invincibility of the heroes and everything. I've said my praises about that film. Um, So yeah, I came into this one with some pretty high hopes. Some pretty high expectations, but while it wasn't at the level of the Asterix movie. But that being said, it was pretty good in its own right. It's definitely a step up from that previous Lucky Luke movie I covered a while back. Um, but yeah, so the story is, I guess you could say it takes place after the events of the first movie. Although either way, you can place it wherever in the Lucky Luke comic timeline. Anyway, so yeah, the story is we have Lucky Luke's arch nemesis, the Daltons. They're in prison, but one day they're visited by a lawyer who informs them that their Uncle Uncle Henry Dalton has been hanged he was hanged for all of his crimes. So yeah, their whole family is criminals, but their uncle has been hanged. Um, but yeah, he left his fortune to them if they can, murder, if they can take out all of the judge and the jury who sentenced him to the hanging. Um, so yeah, they have to escape from prison and, to avoid going off on too much of a tangent. Simply put, they escape from prison. A guard dog from the prison goes after them, but he doesn't really serve much of a purpose in this movie. Um, but yeah, they're also informed that they need, for some reason, the uncle, required them to have Lucky Luke as their supervisor when, while taking out all of these, all of the jury members and stuff. So yeah, so after they escape from prison, they manage to, capture Lucky Luke, I guess, and they, make a deal with him that if he refuses to help them, they kill him. If he doesn't, then they'll give him a share of the fortune, but they're secretly planning to murder him anyway. But anyway, he tells them that he'll help them take down all the jury members and the judge. But he's pulling a fast one on them, as they head out and meet each of these jury members and the judge, he keeps pulling little tricks on them to fool them into thinking that, they're all dead, or that he killed them or they killed them. Yeah, he does all sorts of little tricks to make them think that the jury members are all dead. But yeah, at the end, obviously they get they get sentenced to life in prison by the very jury members and judge that they tried to take out. And so I guess going into the jury members, the first one they got to take out is like a major Chinese stereotype. Like, yeah, I haven't seen such a bad stereotype in a while. But yeah, he's a Chinese stereotype who, he runs a laundry shop, laundromat, whatever you call it. So yeah, and he knows martial arts. I guess at the very least, this Chinese stereotype can defend himself. But martial arts is a serious stereotype as well. But yeah, either way, Luke tricks them into thinking that he killed him by having like him play dead in the middle of the street and stuff. I don't need to go into detail like how he tricks them with each of the jury members and the judge, but yeah, after that we have a warden who used to run this prison where all the prisoners escaped, and then we have kind of a Native American stereotype. He's like a witch doctor. Let's see, who's next? We have a traveling snake oil salesman, or whatever you call them. He sells, quote, elixirs. Those characters. Let's see. Call him a quack doctor. Then the next one is a miner / prospector, I guess, who's disappeared into a mine, and they trick the Daltons into thinking that he already died years ago and his ghost is haunting the mine and stuff. But yeah, then let's see. Next we have a pastor who used to be a gambler, and he has a bunch of gambling, he still injects a lot of gambling wordplay into his sermons. And then we got a train engineer, and then the last jury member is an undertaker. It's the same undertaker from the other Lucky Luke movie. He still looks like Boris Karloff. He doesn't quite talk like him this time, but different voice and everything. But yeah, and then finally the judge. The ways that Luke tricks the Daltons into thinking each of them are dead, they're all pretty creative. There's some good humor sprinkled throughout. Not amazing humor. It's definitely not at the level of the Asterix movie that I covered recently. 12 Tasks. But it kind of has a similar spirit where they're traveling along and you're wondering what a bunch of little steps in the adventure, each involving a different challenge, I guess. In this case, the challenges are all people that Luke has to pretend to kill. Or, make the Daltons think that they killed or whatever. But yeah, it's got a similar spirit to 12 Tasks of Asterix. But yeah, it's not quite as entertaining. It's not quite as creative. It's not quite as funny. But still, I like this movie. It's just not quite as good as what 12 Tasks of Asterix was. otherwise, it's worth watching. I mean, yeah, there's some ethnic stereotypes throughout the movie. Yeah, Chinese people, Native Americans, Mexicans, they all get a bit of unfair stereotyping in the movie. Yeah, I guess Belgium wasn't quite as up to date as we Americans were in the 70s. I mean, yeah, we weren't exactly perfect at the time either, but yeah, what you gonna do? We move forward and become a little more sensitive over time. Blah blah blah. Um, but yeah, is there much else to talk about? The characters are pretty much the same as before. I mean, Lucky Luke, at the very least, they play down his invincibility now. I mean, he's still a badass, but he has a few vulnerable moments, like when the Daltons do hold their guns up to him. They do, he has a little vulnerable moment there, and the Chinese stereotype beats him up at one point. But yeah, aside from that, let's see. The Daltons are pretty much the same. They have different voices from the other Lucky Luke movie, but yeah, they're still the same characters. And yeah, I guess all the characters they meet along the way are pretty entertaining, if some of them might be a little insensitive. Um, but yeah, is there any other little thing to bring up? I mean, the animation's alright. Um, but yeah, I can't think of anything at there's a brief little, what they call a big-lipped alligator moment partway through the movie when, the Daltons drink this water that the Native American stereotype gave them that is drugged with shrooms or something, and they get knocked out and have like this dream sequence of this really drawn-out Broadway-style musical number where they sing a bunch of different kinds of songs, including singing in the rain. Not even a parody of it. They straight up singing in the rain at one point. So yeah, that's a brief moment going off the rails. And we have a train going off the rails too. Sorry, couldn't resist. But yeah, I can't really think of much else to say. This was good. It wasn't great, but it was definitely a step up from the other Lucky Luke movie, which I thought was just okay. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and give this a 7 out of 10. And if you're a fan of Lucky Luke, yeah, definitely give it a watch. And even if you aren't a fan, you can check it out if you're interested. Yeah, it's worth watching. So yeah, if there's anything else I feel I need to add, I'll put it in the comments. And yeah, I can't think of anything else to bring up at the moment, but yeah, for now, that'll be it. Mash it and smash it, signing off.